Today we're talking about the real difference between messy homes and tidy homes, and it's definitely not what you think. Before we get into the four truths, the four real differences between tidy and messy people, I want to talk about the biggest lie, the misconception, which is that messy people are lazier than tidy people. This is totally not true at all. In fact, when I was living my messy self, my messy life, I was working a lot harder than I am now. I was spending a lot more time cleaning my house. I was shuffling stuff around. I was constantly having to move things before I could wipe surfaces. I was managing my mess and it was exhausting. I work way less now that I have a tidy house. So I just wanted to tell you that misconception because I hear this all the time. I know I thought this. I have friends and family that come to my home and they'll say things like, "Oh, you must clean all the time," or "I wish my home looked like this, but I don't have as much time to spend as you do." There is a real misconception that we have to work harder to get the home you're craving, and that is just not true. So let's start with hard truth number one. Tidy homes have less stuff. Tidy people are constantly decluttering. It's just part of their everyday life. If they're burning a candle and it's dead, they're not keeping the jar for maybe making a project or craft with someday. They're getting rid of it. They're letting it go. If they buy a new pot, they're getting rid of an old one. Tidy people are constantly decluttering, but they do have less stuff, but it's based on the size of their home. You may be thinking, I know this person with a giant mansion. They definitely have more stuff than I do. They have less stuff per the space. So if you have a small space, you're going to have less stuff. If you have a bigger space, you're able to have more stuff. What this really means is you are living to the size of your container today. We can only keep what fits in our house right now. And this isn't having every nook and cranny stuffed full of stuff. We can't have everything shoved in the basement or a spare room or piled on surfaces or shoved in a corner. Everything has to have breathing room, right? That's what this is about. It's about having things fitting comfortably and realistically into the home you have right now. And that also means decluttering on a regular basis. You are always bringing things into your home, whether it's a random new sweater or even food that you're purchasing. We have to get things out at the same rate. Every time something's coming in, something has to go. And if you're not decluttering on a regular basis, you may have 5, 10, 15 years worth of back clutter that has to go, which means trash bags and boxes and truckloads of things need to leave your home so you can catch up. I wanted to lead with this hard truth because it's hard. It's a hard thing to hear. And it's something I didn't know when I was really living my messy life. I didn't realize how much I had to let go of to get the home that I deserve, to get a home that I could be in control of on a daily basis without having to work my butt off. And I'm going to tell you, it was almost half of my belongings. Half of the things had to leave in order for me to have a manageable home and a manageable life. Are you ready for hard truth number two? Tidy homes do their dishes all the time. Tidy people, when they're done a meal, they do the dishes right away. They don't leave it until nighttime. They definitely don't leave it till the next day. And I was definitely not doing this. I was the person who would wait a few days to do my dishes. And what I didn't understand was, first of all, scrubbing dried food is a nightmare and takes so much more time than just rinsing dishes right away. But the other thing I didn't realize is how your kitchen is a catalyst for the rest of your home. If you make a big breakfast and don't clean up after, the kitchen is going to look like a disaster. And when your kitchen's a mess, the rest of your home falls apart quickly because everywhere you look, you're like, well, it's messy, and you're just subconsciously adding to the mess and adding to the pile. We don't have to start fresh the next day. We do not have to wait until tomorrow to do the dishes. We do them immediately. We do not leave the table and go watch TV until everyone has helped clean up the dinner dishes. This is a fundamental difference between tidy people and messy people. Tidy homes do their dishes. Messy homes leave them until later. Hard truth number 3, tidy homes have organized homes for everything they own. And it isn't just over there in the closet somewhere or somewhere in this drawer. Tidy homes are like, this is where the measuring tape goes. It has an actual home. Everything has a spot to go. This was my biggest struggle when I was living with a messy house. Things were shoved and hid everywhere and anywhere. If I needed like 2 matching shoes, I'd have to pull everything out of my closet or under the bed. I'd have to hunt and search for things on a daily basis because nothing had a really definitive home. If this makes sense. Like everything was kind of like, well, I think it's over there-ish. And it wasn't until I started really organizing and saying, this is where this thing lives, and here's a label so that everyone in the house knows, that this magical thing started happening. We all started putting things back where they belonged. Because I took the time to gather all my light bulbs, and now I have like a light bulb spot, and all my batteries go in one spot, and all my craft supplies are designated to one spot in my home. It isn't just a free-for-all like it used to be, and this is one of the main differences between tidy and messy homes. Tidy homes have spots for everything. Messy homes are less organized and more chaotic. And this isn't something that you can cure overnight, but you can do this in 15 minutes a day. Every day, pick one small area to organize. Gather a category and create a home for it. I have a macro organizing guide that can help you. You can like randomly pick one of these categories and make sure that everything is gathered together and that you have a designated home for these things. That is going to transform not only your house, but your life. Because when your house is organized, everything is easier. The last hard truth, the real difference between tidy and messy homes is tidy homes do tidy up times throughout the day. Messy homes wait and do it all at once. So I did this. I was an all or nothing person. I would wait until the weekend and then just like mad rage clean my whole house. Things would be everywhere. I'm like, why is everything such a disaster? And it would be exhausting. And usually I never even got to like the vacuuming part because I was just stuff shuffling and putting things away for hours. This is the main difference. Tidy people pick up after themselves all throughout the day. And I am not a naturally tidy person. This does not come easy for me. When I'm done with something, I put it down. When I brush my teeth, I leave the toothbrush and toothpaste out. I just do. It's a crazy thing. But here's what I started doing. I started setting timers in my phone to remind me to just do a 5-minute pickup a few times a day. 5 minutes, 5 minutes. It's insane what you can do. Running around, you're like, okay, the pot is boiling. What can I tidy in the kitchen? Or I'm waiting for my coffee to brew. What can I tidy in the living room? It's insane how much you will find and put away, but better than that, more than that, it's training you. The toothbrush goes back in the drawer. And what happens is eventually you're done brushing your teeth and now you're subconsciously putting things back where they go. We are in the habit of being messy. We need to train our brain to be in the habit of being tidy. And the way to do that is setting alarms to do little micro tidy ups all throughout the day. Not only will your house look better, be more organized, be tidier, but you are going to learn to do it without even realizing that you're doing it. It is the magical power of tidy house awesomeness. I promise you this works, but you have to show up for yourself. You have to do the work, set the alarm, get up and tidy for 5 minutes, 2 or 3 times every day. If you're anything like me, you might be thinking, I don't have more time to dedicate to doing a little bit every day. I'm tired. By the time I get home from work, I just want to like relax and I have precious moments before I have to go to bed and start the day all over again. I get it. I know exactly what you're thinking, but I'm telling you that the salvation, the answer you're craving is a little bit every day. Something has to give, and it can't be your happiness. And that's what you're trading by waiting until the weekend or waiting till tomorrow to get started. Every second is a new chance to start again. We don't have to do this all or nothing mentality. If your dishes are in the sink right now, get up and do it. Trust me. I know you're tired. Push through. It's going to gain you time in the long run. It is going to simplify your life and your home. And more than that, it's going to make you happy and proud of yourself. If your house is feeling overwhelming, you have too much stuff. If you can't tidy a space in 5 minutes, you have too much stuff. Start there. Grab a trash bag and start letting go. And if you're looking for more motivation, I have a free masterclass, a free organizing masterclass that's going to help you get started. I'm going to put the link to that down below in the description for that extra boost of inspiration when you need it. But remember, this is a gift to yourself. You deserve this. You deserve a home and a space and a life that's simple, that's easy, and feels effortless to maintain. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, thanks so much for those of you who have stayed to the end. I'm just gonna talk about this weird thing that happened, and also my weirdness, I don't know. I'm gonna just share a story with you, and I want to know if you can relate in any way. So, I'm not into like woo-woo university stuff, but I have a sister who's really into it. I'm pretty sure she charges crystals naked under the moonlight. She's huffing essential oils. She believes in manifestation, and I wasn't like. I'm like, that seems weird, and I'm not into that at all. But then one time I made a vision board, you guys know, and then all these things started coming true. And I said, like, I think I should have a TV show. And then like 2 weeks later, I got a call from HGTV out of the blue and they were like, want to do a TV show? And I was like, am I magical? There was a split second where I thought maybe this manifesting magical thing was real. Okay, so I'm just starting with that. This is the lead-in to the story of what happened yesterday. So anyways, nothing else magical has really happened except the vision board, which could be power of thought. I digress. I show up for a photo shoot. I'm getting like personal branding photos. So I went to a photographer's house to get some like new headshots. I don't know what I'm going to use them for, but stuff. And as soon as I walked into her home, I kid you not, I stepped through the threshold. Hi, I'm Cass. Nice to meet you. Boo! The electricity went out everywhere. And she's like, that's weird. I've lived here for a year. The electricity has never gone out. We just rolled with it. So I had hair and makeup done. I was looking like fancy pants, but they had to do it outside. Nobody had a plug, and we couldn't get into the garage to get to the generator. So my 2012 minivan to the rescue had a plug in it. So I got my hair done outside. We went inside. We used natural light. We had photos taken all day, all these weird, I'm going to share the photos with you at some point. But so 2 o'clock, I was there at 10 till 2. The electricity never came back on. I'm all done. I say goodbye. I step back out the threshold. The lights come back on. And then the photographer stops me and she says, were you nervous today? Like, were you scared doing this? And I was like, yeah, I don't leave the house very often. I don't talk to people, and getting your picture taken is really weird. And she said, when you get angry, do light bulbs burst? She thinks that I somehow caused a blackout in the entire city, like I'm some sort of witch or poltergeist or something. And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure it's a coincidence. A weird coincidence. Me walking into her home makes the lights go out. Me leaving her home makes the lights come back on. But I went in the driveway to get my hair done and that didn't. But the point is, pretty sure she's convinced I have magic abilities. And then I was like, that's ridiculous. And then I came home and I'm like thinking about it the whole car ride home and I'm like, am I magical? I have imagination. I walk in the door and I say to Joe, Joe, what is the possibility I am a superhero and don't know it. Like that I'm some sort of X-Men with energy universe thinging. He stopped me there. There is no possibility, Cass, that you're magical. It's called a coincidence. You didn't cause a power outage. Obviously, they were doing construction or someone hit a pole. He's right, but for a split second, I wondered. Ooh. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever had one of these moments where you thought, and then you tried to move the piece of paper with your mind, and at 43, why am I still thinking I might be magical? I don't know. Anyways, see you guys next time. I'm magically making you all have a tidy home. Ooh. Maybe it'll work.